Hello and welcome back to True Crime Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and I drug Andy in here with me again.
Oh, yes, you did, Michael. I'm here. I'm just going to be over here cozy in my sweater.
You do look cozy in the sweater.
I do love the sweater.
Winter snuck back up on us again, as I knew it was going to do. It always does that in the Carolinas. It's
my God.
It's like, are you guys ready for spring? Isn't this nice? Well, fuck you, because here's another week of cold.
It was literally, I was looking at the weather the other day. It was like, high, 80, Tuesday, high, 58. What the fuck?
Wait, what? Why?
What happened?
Yeah, exactly. But either way, guys, we're glad you're here with us today. Don't forget to check out Patreon, patreon.com/truecrimeguys, where you can get access to all of these episodes early, ad-free, with bonus content. Andy, did we just talk like for almost 40 minutes?
Did we?
Bonus content? I think we did.
Damn. Oh, my God. We talked for a little while.
I hope we don't repeat a bunch of ourselves about this case, because we actually talked quite a bit about the case in bonus content this time.
A little bit.
But again, guys, you can check that out at Patreon, patreon.com/truecrimeguys, right below the description of this episode. Also, check out Oh My Gaia and our other podcast. But today, we are talking about the 2016 murder of Missy Beavers. This is unsolved. Mm-hmm. Some people like to know. There you go. It's unsolved. It's frustratingly unsolved.
Yeah, very much so.
This is probably the most evidence I've seen in a case in a while and still be unsolved.
The fact that there's so much video evidence, there's so much there's witnesses to an extent, but there's no real DNA evidence, and that's one of the hard things. They can't just find it. So.
Exactly. It was Monday, April 18th, 2016. Missy Beavers, she was up early and she was heading to her church in Midlothian, Texas, where she would lead a Gladiator Bootcamp workout class. The class was supposed to start at 5 a.m., so Missy got there around 4:18 and started setting up for the class. Not around 4:18, it was at 4:18. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there was cameras inside the church. When students started arriving, somewhere between 4:45 to 4:55, they entered the classroom and found Missy lying face up on the floor, not moving, surrounded by broken glass. They immediately called 911, but it was too late. Missy was already gone. So what happened to Missy in those 30 minutes, dude?
Yeah,
in that tiny little window.
When you first read into it and you see that like they come in, she's come into the classroom or whatever, and then she's surrounded by broken glass. It's
right.
You almost think like a Final Destination type death or something. Like, did like a skylight window fall and kill her, or did something fall, like did something glass come in and like smack? What happened here? But yeah, it's like then you realize there's like puncture wounds on her, and there's other things that show.
Exactly.
Other things are like, oh wait, the glass is just extra. Oh no, what happened?
Exactly. And it's a real whodunit.
Very much so.
No doubt. But let's get into it, Andy. Let's roll the intro.
All right.
Brandon Beavers, the husband of the wife Missy Beavers.
I've lived here, we've lived here for 20 years, and we've been in this community for longer than that, I have personally, and I've never known of anything of this nature to happen. I pray that whoever did this would be caught, and I pray for all of the people who cared so much about my wife. And
what do you want people to know about your wife?
My wife was she was very passionate about transforming people's lives physically and mentally. She became involved in physical fitness a few years ago, and she transformed herself into just a very fit person, and her desire was to do that for others. And I've seen her do that for others, and I've seen the impact that it's had on other people, and I'm very thankful for that, and I'm thankful for her being such a good wife and a good mother to our children. And she's had a very impactful relationship with a lot of people here in our community, and I'm very thankful for all of them. I believe that she was targeted. Okay, that's my opinion. That's not any information that anybody provided me.
Yeah, for why?
Evidence, for reasons of evidence, I'm not going to say that. You have to ask yourself, if a person's going to break into a church, what are they going to take? What are they there to steal? AV equipment? I work in a church. Some of the most expensive equipment in a church is AV equipment, or money from tithings from the previous day. Okay, those are the two things.
All right, so we're going to start the day of. So it was 5:06 a.m. when that first 911 call came in from the students of the class. Police arrive. They start their investigation immediately. They question everyone that's there. And, of course, they start checking camera footage. Unfortunately, many of the cameras on the outside of the church hadn't been working for a while. But the indoor cameras were all motion activated and caught a very clear picture of the murderer. The footage was taken at 3:50 a.m., meaning the killer was already in the church when Missy got there.
Mm-hmm. And the footage of the murderer is very much like, when you first see the footage, it's like something out of like a horror movie.
Yes, guys, check the links below.
You're watching this guy dressed from head to toe in what we'll describe as like body armor and police stuff.
It's SWAT gear.
And he's just like, or whoever they are, is just casually moving through this church, this empty building, and smashing things and just looking very ominous and
opening
menacing.
doors, looking inside, shutting them back.
Like they're looking for someone. It looks like the surveillance footage you would see from like a Michael Myers movie, where you're just like, no, they're in there, don't go in there. Like, it's one of those type of footages. It's very ominous.
Right, but no one was there at the time.
Yeah, so it's even weirder to be like, why was this person already here?
Exactly. Now, the only issue with this footage that they caught of the killer was they were completely covered, as we alluded to, head to toe in police riot gear, including a helmet with a flashlight and then a vest that said police on the front and the back in huge white letters. Like, there was no mistaking this was legit SWAT gear.
Well, there was no mistaking that it was gear that's supposed to at least look like it. Like, you can get...
No, true.
Like, you can get
You can
gear,
go to Army Navy store and get this.
Yeah, you can
get a
some
police patch,
letterings.
Velcro that shit on. I got you.
So
I feel you.
It could. That was something that was kind of the evidence thing of being like, was this somebody with actual access to riot gear from the police force, or is this somebody who kind of built their own that looks very similar and they put some patches on there?
Yeah, I guess I'm a little biased. I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But the person seemed to be really calm, like Andy alluded to. They're just walking around, they're checking doors, breaking stuff for no apparent reason. But they're breaking stuff with what appears to be just a standard carpentry hammer, like just a claw hammer. And the medical examiner later said that the wounds on Missy's head and chest were most likely made with that hammer. Although, strangely enough, police never did release Missy's true cause of death. They really haven't.
Yeah, I know.
That's weird.
And that's why I was saying it even seemed more like a horror movie, because it's like the
I
guy's
guess they're
walking
trying to keep
around.
it close to the chest for the investigation, right?
Yeah. It's like the guy's literally walking around with a hammer. Like, it's like a horror movie weapon, like a slasher weapon. It's just walking around with a hammer and smashing things slowly.
But they don't look like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they don't look like ominous. They just look like a kid that's just fucking with shit to me.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know
at the
what
same
I mean?
time,
Like, the way they're just walking around. But maybe they are trying to, I don't know, trying to play like a psychological game in case someone is there.
Yeah, maybe they thought someone was there. They were looking for someone. It's like I said, they're kicking in, they're opening doors real fast. They're looking everywhere. So it's very weird.
It is. And I've watched the footage quite a bit. It is very ominous. And of course, the authorities studied the tape meticulously as well. They concluded that the individual was between 5'2" and 5'8", and they had a very unique gait. They walked with both feet pointed outward, with a slight limp.
Okay.
And some even thought the walk had a feminine sway to it. And because of the height of the suspect, a lot of people said it could be a woman. I mean, 5'2" to 5'8", that's average. So, I mean, that's not out of bounds. So they were kind of starting to put together a physical profile, but the motive was really throwing them, because the killer was in the building already. So they figured maybe Missy interrupted a robbery in progress, right? And the intruder panicked. Maybe she recognized their voice or something, and and they killed her. And that would be great, except for there was nothing valuable missing from the church or from Missy. And to be clear, this wasn't a mega church, Andy, right? This wasn't Joel Osteen's Palace on the Hill. You know what I'm saying? This was just a small country church that served a small town. And if you were going to target a church, it wouldn't be this one.
No, this is, if someone was robbing this church, it would be somebody so desperate and chaotic of just being like, they broke into the first building they could get into and they're just trying to steal something. Like, I'm not wanting to say like a junkie or somebody, but it's somebody who's just like, oh, I was able to get into this building, I can take something, I can get out. Like, I can go pawn it or sell it. But like somebody with this kind of like this, like I said, dressing up in this outfit, getting here, walking.
They were expecting confrontation.
Yeah, they were looking for something.
Absolutely. So with the robbery theory not really holding any weight, they start to think the only possibility is that maybe Missy was a target, right? And when a married woman ends up dead with no suspects, we all know who the police are going to.
Obviously
the husband did it.
Gotta be the husband.
Gotta be the husband. So they pull in old Brandon Beavers, but his alibi was airtight. He'd been on a fishing trip in Mississippi, which was proven through receipts and surveillance footage of him traveling in Mississippi. Also, Brandon fully cooperated with police and gave them whatever they needed for the investigation. And he said that his 20-year marriage had been solid and he didn't know anyone that would want to hurt his wife. Then, 4 days after the murder, on April 22nd, there was a interesting development, Andy.
Okay.
When a man carried a white, bloody woman's shirt into a dry cleaner's in Midlothian, Texas, the man claimed it was canine blood. So don't worry, it's fine.
I'm still gonna worry. What happened to the
No. I'm still worried about the dog. But he said his daughter's dog had gotten into a fight with another dog and he broke it up. The shirt was his daughter's, and it was what she was wearing when she had carried her dog to the vet. Okay, that's plausible, right?
Yes, makes sense.
But naturally, the local dry cleaner here has heard of this murder and is very suspicious.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, he knew about Missy's death, and something else he claimed didn't rub him right. So he looked at the paperwork and that the man had filled out for the cleaning, and he realized that his name was Randy Beavers, Missy's father-in-law.
Ooh, okay. Little cog here, a little wrench here.
Yeah, it's very coincidental. So immediately, as you can imagine, the rumor mill started like it does in small towns. All of a sudden, Brandon and his dad, Randy, had plotted to kill Missy. The fishing trip was just to protect Brandon, and his father was going to help him get out of a bad marriage and keep his children in the progress. It also didn't help things that Randy kind of fit the description of the guy in the video. He was short, he was stocky, and he walked with his toes pointed outward.
Hey, some of us do, okay?
Hey, what's the big deal? But all of Randy's alibis checked out. He was on a golfing trip in California, and his daughter confirmed that there was a dog fight, and she even had surveillance footage from a neighbor of Randy carrying the dog away, and then there was surveillance footage at the vet of Randy going inside with the dog.
Yeah, so it does make that. I mean, like I said, it's a very plausible story. Makes sense.
Yeah, and if you're still sus of this story, they tested the blood. It was canine blood.
Good.
So
hope the dog was okay.
Crazy coincidence, though, right? The timing.
The timing, yes, but again, you can't predict a dog fight.
No. And honestly, the more I looked into it, the more articles I read, I think it was like Randy's dog got in a fight with her dog.
Oh, okay.
Like he brought his dog with him, visiting her, and they just got into it.
Yeah.
So that's why they were both so invested in this. It was both of their dogs were hurt.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, the Beaver family, they really reacted well to all of the criticism and all the rumors and all the bullshit. And they actually continued their community to help them find Missy's killer. And so police, they continued to pore over Missy's electronic devices and all of her personal belongings to figure out if she had come into contact with anyone who might want to hurt her, and maybe her family or even her husband didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Right? They found out that maybe Brandon and Missy's marriage wasn't without its issues. For instance, they found signs that the couple was arguing about financial problems as well as infidelity through her text messages.
Okay, but maybe not so solid as he let on.
Exactly. So this opened up new avenues for the police. Is it possible that there's a scorned lover or spouse who took revenge on Missy? Right? Like perhaps the wife of a married man?
Or a married
Something
man.
like that. Or a married, who knows? One of Missy's friends actually said that she had gotten a threatening message from someone on LinkedIn, but she couldn't remember the screen name. And when police looked at all of Missy's LinkedIn messages, they didn't really find anything threatening, but they did find a lot of flirtatious and very familiar messages between Missy and other men. Some the police even described as intimate.
And being intimate on LinkedIn, that's very
Right?
professional.
It's weird.
Very professionally sexy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to hide a relationship, I guess.
Yeah, that
right.
is-
And then you're like, oh, he's just a work colleague.
That is white collar affair right there.
Yeah, it really is. A workout buddy of Missy said that she was acting weird weeks before she was killed. She stopped attending a gym that she had been a member of for years, and they speculated that maybe someone was following her and stalking her at the gym, and that's why she stopped going. The problem was, if you wanted to stalk or find Missy, it really wasn't that hard. I mean, due to her job, she was an independent fitness instructor, so she had to make her schedule public because she had like pop-up classes at different places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she had to advertise for these via social media. So it was super easy for anybody to find out where she would be and at what time.
Yeah.
It really was. But if Missy was in danger, she sure didn't act like it. She had a weapon. She had a pistol on her all the time. She knew how to use it, and she left it in her car that day. And just like North Carolina, Texas is an open carry state. So she could have carried it in class, whatever. I know doesn't really fit the vibe of a yoga workout studio type calisthenics
In a church.
Yeah, but nonetheless, if she felt like she was in danger or someone's following her, what better time than in the early hours of the morning when you're completely alone?
Yeah, you would think that might be the time to bring your gun with you, to bring the protection with you. Why would you
Exactly.
go? And that's just being like a little paranoid too. So
Right. But that would lead you to believe that she wasn't. She didn't feel unsafe.
yeah,
So, and at this point, nothing is really panning out for the police. So they decide to release an interesting surveillance video to the public to see if anyone knows anything. Now, this was an outside surveillance video. It was taken the night of the murder down the road from the church at a sporting goods store. The video shows a silver Nissan Maxima driving around the parking lot, turning their lights on and off, kind of speeding up, braking, turning, just driving around like
very erratically.
indiscriminately. Yeah, very erratically. And this goes on for about 5 minutes, and I don't really understand why the cops think this is connected. But
because that parking lot is so close to the church.
I get that, but no one saw this car in the church parking lot. It wasn't mentioned anywhere else. You know what it seems like to me? An odd time, but it seems like someone practicing driving and working a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what my dad did for me when I learned it, albeit not at, in the early morning hours. Not at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I guess you teach them when you can. No one's out there, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Right. I mean,
much.
it's a good time to go to an empty parking lot if you needed one to, teach a young driver how to drive, teach them how to turn the lights on, teach them how to speed up, slam on the brakes, and that's what it looks like they're doing.
Almost. Yeah,
You know
it
what I
does.
mean? And they don't hit anything. They don't look nefarious in any way. They don't get out of the vehicle. I don't know. Personally, I don't think this is connected to the case, but maybe it is.
Maybe, like I said, it's somebody behaving slightly strangely at a time that nobody was expecting them to be there.
I guess. Yeah.
So-
and then a murder happened hours later.
Yeah,
I don't.
or very closely at least to it.
Yeah. So this video, nobody knew anything about the Nissan, but people did know a lot of stuff, and now they had a number to call, right? And one person called in about a dark colored SUV leaving the church parking lot in the early morning hours. And there was also numerous tips about a man named Bobby Wayne Henry, who coincidentally drove a brown SUV very similar to the one the witness saw that night. He was also a retired police officer with tactical experience who still had his riot gear by his own admission.
Oh, that's a good thing to admit.
Yeah, he admitted it. Now, he can't fit in it anymore, of course.
Oh, no.
I mean, come on, don't be ridiculous. I don't wear that shit anymore.
It's been years.
Oh, no, Pat's belly.
Yeah.
Can't fit in that no more, Bobby had also, though, been fired from the police force in 1996 for aggravated sexual assault and had been working as a security guard ever since. So he's still in the game.
Okay.
He's still in the security game. He was also a current attending member of the church where Missy was murdered. Creekside Church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right there in Midlothian, Texas.
Oh.
He even worked security at her funeral.
Worked security at the funeral.
It's a high-profile case in this area. You have to understand at this time.
Yeah.
At the time of her funeral, it's an open case. It's a cold case. A lot of accusations going around. Who knows what could have happened at the funeral? And I think that's why they wanted security.
Yeah, I could see that. I bet there were a lot of police at the funeral trying to see if anybody looked suspicious. Anybody was like, trying to there. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. And not only that, Bobby walked a lot like the person on the video. He really did. But the police just couldn't quite nail him down. For one, he was over 6 foot tall, somewhere between 6'1" and 6'2". He passed several polygraph tests. I don't know where they got the 5'2", 5'8" height from. Maybe they just watched them walk by a door and then went and estimated.
Yes, they're trying to analyze by the way the person walks by different things in the video. They can measure how tall that is.
That's what I think they're doing, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to see what the angle is. To see
and
how
in 2016, I think they have a good idea of how tall they are.
Yeah. I mean, 5'2" to 5'8", still a pretty good, it's still a 6-inch gap.
That's true. But it's a long way from 6'1", 6'2".
True.
But he also passed several polygraph tests, which that don't mean shit. And his wife backed him up, saying that he was home all night with her.
Okay. I mean, it's a loose alibi, but still.
Yeah. But during this investigation into Bobby, police did find something else to charge him with.
They did do a lot of digging into Bobby.
They did. And it was child pornography. They found it on Bobby's computer, and he was arrested and jailed in 2017.
Okay, Bobby. Well, at least we got something.
Yeah. At least we got something. And unfortunately, though, Bobby was the last major lead in the case. And it's hard to believe that with video surveillance, all these suspicious vehicles, right? The alleged messages on LinkedIn, all the countless tips, and this case is still unsolved. Like, it don't seem right. Mm-hmm. It really don't. And I got a crazy theory, Andy.
I know. Yeah.
I got a crazy theory.
Let's hear it. Let's hear your theory.
Okay, so everything lines up with Bobby except for what, right? He's too tall.
He's too tall.
What if his wife wore his riot gear? I don't know her motive, but I do know they go to church together. And I know rumors start, gossip gets heated, people hate each other, and they've been going to church together forever.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe this woman had something against Missy for some reason. Maybe Missy scorned, her son. Or maybe she thought Missy flirted with her husband. Or I don't know. Or maybe she just didn't agree with her lifestyle. Yeah. And her influence on the church.
Maybe.
I mean, the church can become people's whole lives, especially in a small town.
Very much so. And there, like I said, there's not much of a motive. There's not like a.
I agree. I think that's why it's not solved.
So, and the fact that there's no, she gets there at 4:19. The people show up at like 4:45, whatever. There is such a short window of time for this to have happened in.
No doubt.
For no one to be there, and for this, it's also weird. We don't know exactly when this person got in the church. That's like
they're caught on camera at 3:50, but that's just when they walk past the first camera.
Yeah.
Who knows how they got in? Mm-hmm.
So we don't, and most of the cameras aren't working outside. We don't know which car if that SUV was the car they drove into, or if it was somebody who just pulled into the parking lot, or was like sleeping in the parking lot somewhere. That happens all the time in churches.
Yeah.
So like it could have been somebody like that, but the fact that this person was in full riot gear, wandering the halls, breaking stuff well before her class was supposed to start.
They were waiting for her.
They were waiting for her or for somebody. They were waiting
And
for
they're
something.
like, let's just confuse people by breaking and leaving evidence all over the place.
Possibly.
And then, I think they were. I think they were waiting for her. I don't think she had any idea.
Yeah.
And I, and it could be somebody. Like I said, the scorn lover thing is still a pretty good.
Yeah.
It's still a pretty good theory. It could have been, like I said, somebody that she met on LinkedIn, the wife of somebody she met on LinkedIn, somebody that she had dealings with that none of her family or friends would know for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to, combine those two lives that she's living. So, just because her family and friends are like, oh, nobody hated her, it's like, y'all wouldn't know.
Right. And I'm also thinking, we didn't really mention one of the documentaries we watched. They talk about how they haven't released her cause of death, but they did mention that a handgun was used, like in her death.
They did,
but they don't
Thank
say
you for bringing that up.
They don't say that was what killed her. They don't say what was the actual weapon of the cause of death.
Right.
So again, they don't show anybody like walking around with a gun in the video. The person's just walking around with a hammer.
Right.
So maybe they had a concealed gun somewhere, but
For
still,
sure.
And for nobody to hear a gunshot at that time.
Like I said, that person was expecting a confrontation, 100%.
Yeah, they were there for a target. It looks
Absolutely.
like. I don't know how nobody has figured out anything. How there was never any DNA. How there was no traces of anything. How they can't match if there's a bullet something. I don't know. I don't know.
Right. It's been 10 years.
Yeah, it has been 10 years now. And I remember they brought in a new detective on the case, too, to try and change some stuff around, and then nothing happened.
Nothing came of it.
So, I don't know, man. Hopefully, there'll be something that comes from this case. But, yeah, it's this one right here seems like one that's going to be somebody's going to have to just come forward and say something.
Oh, yeah. Somebody knows something.
Oh, yeah.
They have to. But or like I said, or maybe it was somebody from completely out of town that just came in and had something against Missy. I don't know.
It's very confusing.
Very. But you know what's not confusing? And that's making a good choice on deodorant. Because
That's
you
not
could just choose
confusing.
Oh My Gaia.
It's
All natural.
It's an easy choice to make.
It's an easy choice. Get rid of the chemicals. Put all natural Oh My Gaia in your pits. Because it's an innovative all natural deodorant, fragrance, and beard oil company specializing in paraben and aluminum-free products. And at Oh My Gaia, they got tons of scents to choose from, guys. They got something for you, I promise. From sandalwood, lavender, lemongrass, Egyptian musk, coconut, dreamsicle, leather, lumberjack, honeysuckle, fireside, bergamot, amber, and so much more. Guys, we have our own scent called True Crimepine. That's a great place to start if you don't know where. And because you're True Crime Guys listeners, you can use the code word Crimepine for 15% off your order. That's CRIMEPINE, no spaces, Crimepine for 15% off your order at ohmygaia.com, OHMYGAIA.com. Also, follow them on Instagram at shop_ohmygaia. So you will be up to date on all the deals and special offers and new scents and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Summer's right around the corner, guys. We don't want to be stinking through the summer.
No.
Get some good smells in there.
You also don't want to be bored during the summer. So you might want to hit up Patreon because we got a big back catalog, right? I think that's what they're saying these days. And that is no exaggeration. There are tons of audio files on Patreon for your listening pleasure right now. Patreon.com/True Crime Guys. It's the best way to help the show. And guys, for just $3 a month, you can get access to all kinds of good stuff, as well as the first 60 episodes of the podcast way back around the time this crime actually happened, 2016, 2017, all that. But yeah, guys, that's patreon.com/True Crime Guys. And don't forget to check out truecrimeguys.com, where you can check out our 12-inch vinyl that has just been released a few months ago with all kinds of our favorite intro songs and whatnot. I'm thinking about putting together another one of those.
I mean, you probably will eventually.
Yeah, I will eventually. I already have enough songs. Just organizing it.
You got the
I
catalog.
want to put lyrics on this one, and that's a whole undertaking.
Right.
It is. But, you got to pay to put your own art out there nowadays. It's bullshit.
Right.
It really is.
The good old days are gone.
Yeah, they are. But anyways, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week with another True Crime Guys case, all right? Until then, just keep on creeping.
Bye.